There are several major updates in the fight to arrest Merrick Garland. A few weeks ago, I reported that Representative Anna Paulina Luna was going to force a vote on inherent contempt to hold Garland accountable for defying a subpoena from Congress. The original goal was to have Garland arrested by the House Sergeant at Arms. Well, yesterday, former President Donald Trump announced his support for this vote, writing, "I agree with Anna Paulina Luna and the many House members who think Merrick Garland should be held in inherent contempt for refusing to release the Biden tapes even though they were subpoenaed." Well, today, the House voted, and unfortunately, the resolution failed by just 6 votes. And of course, the media is spinning it as the end of the story. But there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye, and yes, there is already a revote in the works. So I first reported on this story nearly 4 weeks ago. The House was supposed to vote that week, but the vote never made it to the House floor. This vote had been stalled multiple times, and one of the challenges was getting Republican leadership, such as Speaker Mike Johnson, on board. So during this process, the end goal evolved from arresting Merrick Garland to instead fining him $10,000 per day for every day he refuses to obey the subpoena. That change was to make this vote more palatable for swing district Republicans who might not want to put their necks out on the line. Now, the other challenge was that this has never been done before, so there were a lot of questions and concerns about the legality and constitutionality around inherent contempt, so there was a lot of maneuvering behind the scenes to get even more Republicans on board. Take a look at what Representative Luna had to say before the vote.
Voting on 2 things today. The first thing is the SAVE Act, which will secure federal elections, but we are also going to be voting on inherent contempt. Now, I want to talk about inherent contempt for a moment. Remember, I'm one member, and if you guys could see what I have seen over the last couple of weeks in regards to the orchestrated effort to prevent this from coming to the floor, you guys would be horrified. I do believe that starting in the House, going all the way up to the White House, that there is an absolute cover-up in regards to Joe Biden's cognitive ability and then also to holding Merrick Garland accountable. Remember, Merrick Garland is supposed to be the head law enforcement officer, and he has broken the law, and yet there are people that are generally trying to say that he should get a pass. Why? Regular Americans will go to jail for a lot less than this, and yet he's walking free. So that's my first thing. The second thing is that we've vetted this. There's Supreme Court statute. There is case law that backs up everything that we're doing. So it is well within our constitutional authority. My question is, for those Democrats that are blatantly saying that Joe Biden is not there and cannot run, you should be supporting this. Why are you allowing your party to bully you?
So finally, after weeks of delays and pushbacks, Representative Luna was able to bring the vote to the House floor this morning.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Florida seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A1 of Rule 9, I seek recognition to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows: H-Res 1344, finding that Merrick Garland, Attorney General of the United States, is in contempt of the House of Representatives for disobeying a certain subpoena. Finding that Merrick Garland, Attorney General of the United States, is in contempt of the House of Representatives for disobeying a certain subpoena. Whereas on February 27, 2024, Merrick Garland, Attorney General of the United States, was duly served with a subpoena to produce a narrow and specific set of materials possessed by the Department of Justice and related to Special Counsel Robert K. Hur's investigation of President Joe Biden's willful mishandling of classified documents.
The House will be in order.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that Merrick Garland, Attorney General of the United States, is found in contempt of the House of Representatives for disobeying the February 27, 2024 subpoena, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives shall impose a fine which may not be paid with appropriated funds on Attorney General Garland of $10,000 per day until such a time as Attorney General Garland complies with subpoena of the House of Representatives by turning over the audio tapes.
Now, what happened there in the middle is proof that Democrats know that inherent contempt actually has teeth behind it. You see, the chamber started getting more rowdy on the Democrat side when Representative Luna started talking about the mishandling of classified documents by Joe Biden. That's why leadership had to call the House back into order again. Now, what's currently unclear about this whole thing is that if this inherent contempt charge eventually passes, is it $10,000 a day for Garland once it passes, or does that fine retroactively go backwards to February when he was served the original subpoena? And by the way, if you listen closely to Representative Luna's phrasing, it sounds like they've ensured that if Garland eventually gets charged with inherent contempt, he won't be able to pay this $10,000 a day fine with budget from the DOJ. This will all have to come out of his own personal pocketbook. Now here's the thing, the House has already voted to charge Merrick Garland with contempt of Congress, so just rationally speaking, anyone who voted to hold Garland in contempt of Congress should be voting to hold him in inherent contempt. That's the logical next step, and that's the argument that Representative Luna made on the House floor.
If an American is presented with a lawful subpoena, he or she is expected that they comply or face the consequences of their defiance. Why should the Attorney General of the United States be held to a different standard? No one is above the law. We have reached a turning point where the urgency of this situation cannot be overlooked. And I want to remind my colleagues that House Republicans have already argued that Merrick Garland must be held accountable for defying 2 lawfully issued subpoenas. Today's vote will hold Attorney General Garland in inherent contempt of Congress and fine him $10,000 per day until he complies with our subpoenas by turning over the audio tapes.
So, what happened? This bill failed by just 6 votes, including 4 Republicans who voted no. But what's even more notable than that is that 19 members of Congress, including 12 Republicans, decided not to vote. The 4 Republicans who voted no are Tom McClinton, California District 5, John Duarte, California 13, David Joyce, Ohio 14, and Mike Turner, Ohio 11. But this is just the beginning. You see, there are a few Republicans who would have voted yes, but they weren't present to vote today. For example, Representative Mast and Representative Massey both had deaths in the family and were therefore unable to vote on the bill. In fact, Representative Mast himself tweeted, "I missed this vote because I am en route to my father's funeral. Otherwise, I would have voted to hold Merrick Garland in inherent contempt of Congress. I look forward to Representative Luna's legislation coming up again. I am 100% for holding this rogue AG accountable." Don't forget that it was Representative Luna who introduced the bill to censure Adam Schiff, and it took 2 tries, 2 votes before that finally happened. Representative Luna didn't give up when the first vote to censure Adam Schiff failed, and she's not giving up now. In fact, she's already announced that she will be bringing this vote to the floor a second time. In a statement, she declared, "Today's vote on my inherent contempt resolution and the legislative appropriations bill did not pass due to some Republican absences. An overwhelming majority of the party supports this resolution, and it already survived multiple killshot attempts by Democrats." Outside of the chamber, Luna sounded confident that she has the votes to make this happen.
On this in general, but in reference to the concerns about Biden.
I think that if we weren't in such a partisan world, that Democrats would absolutely be voting with me right now. But the problem is that they're in a pickle. If they break, I have heard that they are holding their fundraising over their heads, and that obviously is an issue that even Republicans have had. So that's clearly a bipartisan issue, and that you should be voting your conscience and for your constituents, and not based on the fundraising capabilities that you have, especially with leadership holding that over their heads. But I mean, there's been a number of Democrats that have come out saying that they have concerns with Biden, and I think that they realize, and they appreciate the efforts that we're going forward as a conference, an individual and also conference, and bringing accountability back, because we're not being respected as a global corporation. That's evident. Everyone agrees with that.
Have they privately
Here's where things could get interesting. Democrats are in lockstep for now, but if Joe Biden has another public meltdown as bad as the debate, if the pressure to get him to step down intensifies from where it is right now, if there's an international crisis and someone needs to answer the phone at 3 a.m., don't be surprised if the dam begins to break on this and a few Democrats decide to vote yes. I know that there are going to be people out there upset that this is just a fine and not jail time, especially now that Steve Bannon is in federal prison for literally the exact same thing, but we've got to celebrate the victories when they come. We finally have a fighter in the House who's willing to claim back the power that the House has. The legislative branch is not subservient to the executive branch, it's equal with it. And that's what Representative Luna is trying to wake her colleagues up to. These efforts have not been futile. We're closer now to justice than we were 4 weeks ago. And the good news is, those 4 rhinos have exposed themselves. It's time to put the pressure campaign on those who didn't vote and didn't have an excuse, unlike Representatives Mast and Massey. Representative Luna isn't giving up on this, so I'm not giving up hope either. If our founding fathers lost hope every time there was a road bump, we wouldn't be where we are today. And given the state of our country, we should be prepared to charge through more road bumps in the days to come. But as always, that is just my analysis, and I would love to know yours in the comments below. With just 6 votes making the difference and several Republicans unable to attend, Do you have hope that this resolution to hold Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress will pass on the second vote, or do you think it's a futile attempt? If you haven't already, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask, but it really does help me in the algorithm to reach more viewers like you. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.